Hey everyone, I'm Annie Thompson, and welcome back to the U.S. Crime Line. We've got several major developments to cover today from Australia, the UK, Thailand, Brazil, Japan, and Ukraine. Let's get started. Authorities in Australia's New South Wales have charged two people with domestic violence-related murder following the death of a 48-year-old woman found inside her home last month. Police were called to a property on Joshua Street in Goulburn at around 7 a.m. on Saturday, January 3, 2026, after a friend grew concerned when the woman missed a scheduled appointment. Officers forced entry and discovered her body inside. She was later identified as 48-year-old Sean D. Cook. Investigators say she suffered multiple stab wounds. Detectives later determined that Cook had actually been killed several days earlier on December 30th, 4 days before her body was found. After weeks of investigation, police executed a search warrant at a nearby home on February 5th. There, they arrested Cook's former partner, 40-year-old Anne-Marie Streak, along with Streak's current partner, 44-year-old Stephen Henry Evans. According to authorities, Cook and Streak had been in a domestic relationship for several years and had lived together at the Joshua Street home before separating in May of last year. Streak later began a relationship with Evans, and the pair reportedly moved into a house next door to Cook. Police say they suspected the former partner's involvement from early in the investigation. Both Streak and Evans have now been charged with one count of domestic violence-related murder. Bail was refused. Investigators also allege that the couple traveled between December 31st and January 3rd in a light blue Toyota Camry towing a trailer with a small white fishing boat. Police are asking anyone who may have seen that vehicle during that time to come forward. The investigation is ongoing. In London, two students remain hospitalized after a stabbing at Kingsbury High School in the borough of Brent. The incident happened around 12:40 p.m. on February 10th. Police say a 13-year-old male student allegedly entered a classroom and attacked two boys, ages 12 and 13, with a knife. At first, some students reportedly believed the emergency alarms were part of a drill, but that quickly changed as screams echoed through the hallways and students began banging on windows to get help. One victim suffered a stab wound to the torso, the other to the neck. Both remain in serious condition. The suspect fled the school but was later located and arrested. Police also recovered the weapon believed to have been used. He is being held on suspicion of attempted murder. Counterterrorism officers are now leading the investigation due to surrounding circumstances, though officials have emphasized that the incident has not been declared an act of terrorism. Authorities say they are not currently searching for additional suspects. The motive remains unclear. In Thailand, authorities arrested a Chinese fugitive wanted in connection with a decades-old murder case in Hong Kong. The suspect, 62-year-old Mui Yukyuong, was taken into custody in Bangkok after investigators determined he had been living there under a new identity. He is accused of involvement in the 1989 killing of 26-year-old Louis Yukchai, whose body was discovered buried at Long Hawan Beach in Sai Kung. Court records allege that Mui and three accomplices lured the victim to the beach, assaulted him, suffocated him, and buried him in the sand. 3 suspects were eventually arrested and tried. Mui, however, disappeared. After nearly 37 years on the run, authorities traced him to Thailand, where he was reportedly operating a restaurant. He was arrested on immigration violations and later repatriated to Hong Kong, where he now faces murder charges. Police say they are confident they have sufficient evidence to move forward despite the passage of time. In Brazil, investigators have exhumed the body of social media influencer Barbara Jankowski Marques after questions were raised about her November 2025 death in São Paulo. Initially ruled a heart attack linked to cocaine use, the case has been reopened following concerns about marks on her neck that may indicate possible strangulation. Barbara was found inside the home of a 51-year-old public defender who admitted hiring her for sexual services and using drugs together that night. He claimed she stopped breathing while asleep and said he attempted CPR. Prosecutors have requested additional forensic testing, including neck X-rays and DNA analysis. The case is now being handled by São Paulo's Homicide Division. Officials say the results of a second autopsy could determine whether her death was accidental or criminal. In Japan's Saitama Prefecture, a ramen shop manager has been arrested after allegedly staging a robbery at his own restaurant. The 36-year-old man claimed he had been attacked at knife point and robbed of approximately 670,000 yen. But surveillance footage showed no sign of an attacker, and his phone search history included phrases like staged robbery victim. Police say he eventually confessed to embezzling the money and even admitted punching himself in the face to make the story believable. He allegedly intended to use the funds for personal expenses and gambling. He has been charged with making a false emergency call and obstructing police duties. Further charges may follow. In western Ukraine, 5 people were killed inside a shelter for internally displaced residents after a 72-year-old man allegedly attacked them with a hammer and an axe. The violence unfolded in the early hours of February 10th inside a former school building converted into housing. Police say the attack followed a domestic dispute between residents. All 5 victims died at the scene. The suspect was detained shortly afterward and is now under investigation for multiple counts of intentional murder. That's all for today's update. Thank you for joining me here on the U.S. Crime Line. If you found this report informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. I'm Annie Thompson. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.